Welcome to Tales from the Streets. Here's what our narrator has to say. My husband stopped having sex with me 4 years ago. I usually don't like talking about my marriage, but I'm forced to talk. Maybe I'll get help from outsiders. Why did he stop? His twin sister died, and when I saw how shattered he was, I decided to comfort him by making love. But he turned away from me as if I was an abomination, like I had done something sinful. And since then, 4 years now, we have not been man and wife in the true sense of the word. What did he not tell me that day? He said I was a callous and wicked woman. He asked how I could want sex when he was still mourning his sister. Biko, was I wrong? Let me start from the beginning. My husband is well educated, so don't think he's an illiterate. He is also well traveled. So in that sense, you can understand that he is no bushman. Yes, I know some people can travel all over the world and still be bush, but not this man. He is much older than I am, and he was born a twin. He and his twin sister were the first set of children to survive after his parents had buried quite a few. I don't know why, but his mother had lost 3 children previously, before my husband and his twin sister came to stay. They were already 3 years old when they finally gave them real names. Before then, they were simply called Bomboy and Bongel. Their parents didn't think they would live, so instead of giving real names, they just threw something on them. But after 3 years, when their mother became pregnant again, they were named, and she went on to have other children, 5 altogether. My husband was very close to his twin sister. They looked alike. In fact, when I see pictures from when they were young, wherever she spotted a low cut, I would always think she was my husband. But as they grew older, the differences became quite obvious. Boys will be boys and girls will be girls. A man cannot have curves or breasts like a woman. That's what I mean. They went on to the same school. They were very close and they looked out for each other, like close twins. You understand? So I get that. Even when I met my husband, he told me he had a wife. He said his twin sister is his first wife. I had no reason to think I would be a source of jealousy to her because I was prepared to have 2 husbands, my husband and his twin sister. How did I meet my husband? I met my husband during one of those Easter holiday breaks from school. I attended university in the East. They were in UI, but we were all home for Easter break that year. That's how I met him. I was invited to spend Easter with a friend who knows my husband's family. Yeah, that's how I met him. His sister didn't like me from the very beginning. She was very jealous of my relationship with her brother. She would have preferred her brother went out with someone else, someone from their side. I am also from the East, but some people think they are better than others. That's the truth. Anyway, I won't name names here, but things between my sister-in-law and I were not good. Did I not try to win her over? I tried, but no way. Meanwhile, by the time I married my husband, she was already married with 2 children at that time. But she did not face her marriage. She was the 3rd member of our marriage. Me and my husband would agree on something, and then he will suddenly change. He will say, my sister doesn't think it will work. Or, my sister said this, my sister said that. At the beginning, I would let go. No be me say I won't marry 2 husbands. But later, the thing began to pepper my body. I am a woman too now. Why wouldn't she face her own marriage and leave mine alone? If I put my children in one school, she will say, that school is too expensive. Change them to so and so school. If I buy one material, she will say, see how you are using my brother's money to do fashion. Biko, help me here. Now her husband money are for use. My house was never clean enough. She would have something to say. My soup was always watery. She would have something to say. Anyway, after a while, I began to show my resentment. One day I told her that I really don't know who I married in this house, she or my husband. And I told her, I said, maybe I should go and be asking for her permission before I open my legs for my husband. Big mistake. That day, my husband came back from work and wiped my face with a hot slap. Do what? What was I supposed to do? No be me want marriage. I rubbed my cheeks and swallowed my tongue. I just gave up. Whatever she said, I will do, Biko. My children are still young. I didn't want to die in a marriage and my children will suffer. So I kept my mouth shut. Then sister-in-law died. Stupid accident too. She was going to see their mother in the east. Tire burst. Mother somersaulted. All passengers died. For all of my anger against her, I didn't want her dead. So when we heard the news, my husband went into mourning for days. I didn't know how to comfort him. I felt his pain. I felt his loneliness. And I wanted to be there for him. And the best way I thought I could was to wrap myself around him as a wife and coax him to make love. You know, take his mind off his pain by giving him pleasure. See me see trouble. Immediately I touched him. My husband just sprang up from the bed. He called me names. He called me callous. He called me wicked. He said, so sex is what is on your mind, even as my twin sister is lying cold in the mortuary. Meanwhile, this was about 2 weeks or so after she died. 4 years now, he hasn't touched me. I'm still paying for my sins, so I have begged. I have apologized. I have explained that I was only trying to comfort him. Maybe he will hear me tomorrow. Meanwhile, he performs his other function as father to our children and husband to me. But enter between my legs? Mba. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.